CBS News is going through an absolute meltdown right now. Since its new ownership, its ratings are dropping like never before, and advertisers are pulling out under the new editor-in-chief, Bari Weiss. You guys might remember that highly promoted town hall event that Bari Weiss had with Erika Kirk. Well, it was horrible. It did very, very bad, and it didn't see barely the amount of advertisers it typically gets. It absolutely flopped. Bari Weiss's much hyped CBS News town hall with Erika Kirk was a massive ratings flop. According to Nielsen, the Saturday night town hall show saw a 41% decline in the key 25 to 54 advertising demographic compared to the network's standard programming in that time slot year to date. There's a lot of reasons for this, and it's definitely not just this one town hall event. It really has to do with the fact that this is all under the Bari Weiss leadership, which is at the heat of the new ownership, Paramount. And at the very top of this entire umbrella is David Ellison, Larry Ellison's son. Larry Ellison, his father, being the man who's currently in the process of purchasing TikTok. So the town hall did horrible, and it's not just on the actual cable network television. It only ended up getting 104,000 views on YouTube. Now, just so you know, if I got 104,000 views, I'd see that as great. I have a much smaller channel. CBS News has 6.86 million subscribers. I have not even 30,000 yet. The difference is when a news network that's spending millions and millions of dollars, and it's a full-on organization, it's a full-on company, is spending that much money to fly her out there, to host the event, to pay for the workers, to edit the video, and they post it on YouTube and it makes 104,000 views, probably made $700 off of that video at best. That's horrible. That's very bad. And it's not only the views, which is also really interesting to share. I put it into a YouTube dislike to like viewer. There's websites where you can check the dislike button on videos. And it actually ended up getting 85% dislikes, 9,220 dislikes to 1,608 likes, and about 104,000 views. So it did horrible. It was very disliked. And it's not just disliked because when people were watching it, they noticed that Erika Kirk seemed a little bit off. And she was also always dabbing on her napkin, or that's a whole tissue. That's a whole different conversation. There is something wrong with the Bari Weiss leadership that's turning people off. What is it? Well, it's the fact that it's Bari Weiss, and she's a propaganda arm, and she's a DEI hire. What is she a DEI hire for? She's a DEI pro-Israel hire by the Ellison family. And this is what people need to understand, which is why this is now the death of CBS News. And I mean this so seriously when I say this. CBS News, as if it's not as if they were a prestigious, amazing, out of this world news network before. They were doing fine. They were doing great. But now it's truly the end of it, because now CBS News has no longer any sort of journalistic integrity. It's very one-sided propaganda for a foreign government. Now, this might have worked 10 years ago when the vast majority of the United States was unaware of Israel's influence in the US. But nowadays, that's not going to work, and especially not going to work with the younger generation. So when Bari Weiss first became editor-in-chief of CBS, very recently, just a couple of weeks ago, she went on stage at an event and she stated that she wanted to bring on more sensible people. She actually said she wanted to bring on more charismatic people onto CBS. And one of the people that she stated that she wanted to bring on that she felt was very charismatic was Alan Dershowitz, where the vast majority of Americans actually are. That's who she
an
is,
equality of opportunity,
charismatic.
and still believe passionately in the American project, that still believe in all of the things that everyone in this room believes in, which is liberty and freedom and individual responsibility, and in the most basic level, the right to know what is actually going on in the world. Not the world as propagandists and ideologues imagine it to be, but what's actually going on in the world and in your community, so you can make decisions about where to send your kids to school, about where to live, and about how to vote. That used to just be normal. And the goal of what we're trying to do at CBS is to get back to that normalcy. And I feel incredibly energized and enthusiastic, because I think that is where the vast majority of Americans actually are.
Well,
Debate and acceptable American politics and culture. And I don't mean that in like a censorious gatekeeping way. I mean having people that are clearly identifiably on the center left and on the center right in conversation with each other. And we've been doing so much charisma and identity. And I, as nostalgic as people might be for an era in which 30 million Americans every night.
So let's just stop there. This was hosted at the Jewish Leaders Conference. And she went on and she stated that she wants to sideline voices like Hassan Piker, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, and elevate charismatic figures like Alan Dershowitz and others where the vast majority of Americans actually are. This got 9 million views on X. This one post, 9.7 million, almost 10 million, 9K likes. 9K likes. That's how, that just goes to show you the like to view ratio of just how turned off people are at the idea of this, because she's just a propaganda arm. She truly is a DEI hire, guys. She truly is a DEI hire. And it goes on, it gets worse. It gets worse. So, of course, she's brought in. And the first thing she does is they fire so much of the staff. They heavily fired minorities because most minorities tend to side more with Palestinians. That's a big part of it. They tend to be more on the left, and they're restructuring CBS, so it becomes more right wing. Well, that's one thing, but it's now more right wing and it's more pro-Israel. And David Ellison bought it because it's part of his long-term goal to buy the mainstream media. The Ellison family is buying the media. They have basically purchased so much of the media, and they're currently in the process of fighting a war to attain CNN with Netflix right now under the Warner Bros. Contract. So the Ellison family is trying to buy social media. His father, Larry, purchasing TikTok, the founder and CEO of Oracle. David Ellison purchasing CBS with Bari Weiss as the editor-in-chief that he plopped up, knowing that she's a Zionist, knowing that she's pro-Israel, knowing that she's going to completely alter alter who CBS is featuring. And now you're going to see people like Ben Shapiro on CBS. Who did CBS recently also host? And this just goes to show CBS it's gone, guys. It is now an Israeli propaganda arm. That's all it is. They also plopped in place Noah Tishby. You guys know who Noah Tishby is? She's the actress, as they call it. She's the Israeli American actress, and she's, again, just a propaganda arm of the state of Israel. She recently went on CBS Morning Show with Gayle King, and she stated that the way to help the Jewish community is by adopting the IHRA definition of the IRA definition of anti-Semitism. And this, of course, just goes to show it's a propaganda arm. Let me see if I can quickly find it. Here we are. Let me go ahead and play this for you guys to see. So this was also recently played, and this just goes to show this is kind of now what their goal is.
Israel-related Jewish hatred. Israel non-legal definition, the PRISM definition of anti-Semitism, the international any organization, any group, any company is adopt what's called the IRA definition of anti-Semitism, the International Holocaust Alliance definition of anti-Semitism is a non-binding, non-legal definition, the PRISM, from which to see what anti-Semitism is, because a lot of people don't understand what it is.
And of course, there's Tony Dokoupil there as well, which is now the new CBS News evening anchor. Incredibly pro-Israel. He has family that he moved to Israel. He converted to Judaism. Noah Tishby is on now, and she's a propaganda arm for Israel, telling people and telling organizations to adopt the IRA definition of anti-Semitism, which conflates criticism of Israel with anti-Semitism. And this is all under the Bari Weiss leadership. It is Israel. When you listen to CBS, you're listening to Israel. And this is all happening now. Worse, it's bad, guys. But you know what? It's nice to know that their ratings suck. I really enjoy that. Bari Weiss, I hope you know your ratings suck. They suck. And I hope that you know the reason they suck is because nobody gives a damn about listening to you. I want you to hear that very clearly. Nobody gives a damn about your propaganda for David Ellison, for Israel. The younger generation does not want to hear you. They don't want to hear Noah Tishby. They don't want to hear Ben Shapiro. And they certainly don't want to hear Alan Dershowitz. So you can go on your fairy way now, and you're going to be the fall of CBS. You're going to be the catalyst that leads to the decline of CBS. I hope you know that very loud and clearly. Just want to make sure that she heard that, and I hope this video gets to her. So Anyways, guys, that's really it for this video. Enjoy the downfall of CBS as we know it, because the younger generation simply doesn't put up with this. They know, they're able to see through propaganda. If somebody is mentioning Israel casually in conversation on the TV, somebody in the older generation might not tell that's propaganda. Younger person will immediately pick up, oh, they're trying to casually bring it into a conversation that is irrelevant to that country. They start to notice the small things where they can tell the conversation is being meandered, and they've had enough of it. So we'll see how things unfold moving forward. If you found this video interesting, would appreciate it if you support my channel and click the subscribe button below, and also give it a thumbs up as well. It helps me reach more people like you. Otherwise, I'll see you guys later. Bye.